What's going on, traders? Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are ready for an awesome week. We are about halfway through August, and I plan on delivering a bunch of value to you guys tonight. You'll see on the right side of the screen right now, I've only got a couple pairs that we're going to be looking at, but I promise that these are the pairs that you want to be looking at for this week. So if you're maybe a little unsure of what you are planning on trading this week, you're a little bit unclear of what you want to get into, I highly recommend take some notes, make sure you have your trading journal, and consider consider my opinion with trading these pairs this week. But before we jump into things, as usual, I want to ask you guys to please smash that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We're like 11 subscribers away from hitting 1.5K subscribers. So please subscribe if you're not already, and definitely please make sure you smash that like button if you guys get any value out of this webinar. But the only announcement I have before I jump into the normal outlook is I'm really pleased to announce, and there will be a more formal announcement coming later this week inside of the Telegram. And if you're not in the Telegram, there's a link in the description. But I am releasing a new group, a new section of Positive Traders. It's called the Positive Traders Active Trading Community. As most of you guys know, I have not accepted new students for about 10 months now, since about November of last year. I closed accepting new students, and this whole year has been focused on just working with my current students, but I have had some time to kind of figure out how I'm going to structure and think about how I want to structure my business moving forward, and I thought of creating this group. So I'm very excited to announce this group, guys. I'll just give you a very quick rundown. Basically, I'll just hit you guys with what it's going to cost right off the bat. During pre-launch, it's going to be $37 a month, as long as you are locked into that price, or as long as you're part of pre-launch, you're locked into that price. So after pre-launch, it's going to go up to $97 a month. But again, if you are in during pre-launch, it'll stay at $37 a month. And what you're going to get if you decide to be a part of this active trading community is a couple things. So I'm going to be doing minimum 5 daily webinars every single week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday doing a webinar as well as scalping sessions. So it's going to be like a minimum of 5 webinars a week, maximum of 10 webinars. So generally I do a webinar each evening before the London and the New York session, but I'm also going to be doing scalping, like live trading sessions during the London and the New York session. So you guys are going to be able to trade live with me, scalp live with me. We're going to be taking like actual real trades live. Tuesdays, we're going to be calling it Technical Tuesdays, focusing on technical setups. Fridays is going to be Fundamental Fridays, focusing on the most important piece of fundamental news from the current week and the next week. I'm going to be doing contests and giveaways in there, and I also have a proprietary currency strength indicator template that everybody in the group will have, and it's going to be updated on a regular basis. And yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So, and then of course access to all my trades. So all these trades that we place, it's a full group, full mentorship group. So, yeah, I'm really pleased to announce that. I'm excited to give out some more details, but just kind of wanted to give out some rough details on here. But yeah, it's going to be $37 a month. So you guys compare it to, I can tell you right now, if you are in another Forex group or you are in any Forex group right now, you're probably paying like $100 to $200 a month. And I guarantee you're getting a fraction of what is going to be provided in here. So I don't even know any other Forex mentors that do daily live webinars with their students as well, let alone multiple. I'm going to be doing up to 10 per week. So yeah, excited to grow with the people that are in there. So just stay tuned for a more formal announcement inside of Telegram. But yeah, that's all the announcements I have for the week, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the weekly outlook, okay? So first, let's look at the economic calendar. This week there is some key things that I want you to be aware of. So on Wednesday, we have the meeting minutes for the FOMC meeting minutes being released. So this is going to be really important because this is the minutes from the last meeting, and the last meeting is when they cut interest rates. We began an easing cycle. So should be interesting to see what is said there. And then to follow up on that with the US dollar, Friday, we have Mr. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, going to be speaking. And so if you're interested in trading the dollar, you're trading things like Euro USD, dollar yen, pound dollar, or just like looking at the dollar index or really any dollar pair in general, I would definitely be watching for Wednesday when the meeting minutes is released, and Friday when Powell speaks, okay? Now in between there, Thursday looks like we have some PMIs for the Eurozone. Yeah, we're gonna look at the Euro right now, Euro USD. It's kind of interesting where it's at. Germany's like on the edge of a recession. The US is on the edge of a recession. The trade wars are going crazy. There's so much stuff going on in the markets right now, and I mean that's one of the reasons why gold is just continues to climb higher and higher. But that's pretty much it for the rest of the week. There's a couple other high impact news, which I'm not going to address on here because they aren't as important as the other ones to me. So that's the most important fundamental news for the week. Now, as far as technicals go, I'm just going to make it really simple. I don't have a ton of setups, but I think the setups that I do have are very valuable and worth watching. So the first thing I want to talk about is the dollar index, okay? So keep in mind what we're looking at right now is the US dollar index, okay? US dollar currency index, and this is the weekly chart, okay? So where this channel, this orange channel that you see right here where it starts at, this is May of last year, not this May, last May, okay? So we're like, that's 15, if my math is right, 15 months of us being sideways. So the dollar, or you could say Euro USD, right? Because the Euro USD is the exact opposite of the dollar index. These two instruments are what is considered non-trending, okay? This is a non-trending environment, and I have an opinion, right? I mean, I can share my opinion. I think Euro USD is, of course, there imminently, whether it's now or it happens in 3 months or it happens in 6 months, at some point, let me be clear, let me repeat myself, okay? I'm going to repeat what I say. At some point, price will break out of this, okay? Again, I say at some point, price will break out of this channel, and it will be a violent break. It'll be either it's going to go up for a very long time or it's going to go down for a very long time. Now, I get the fundamentals. I see what's going on with Germany right now. I see that Germany itself, which is the largest country in the Eurozone, the most important country in the Eurozone, is on the edge, the verge of a recession. I get that. But let's also not forget that the US dollar isn't doing too hot either right now. I mean, you could look at the dollar index and say that the US dollar is strong, but keep in mind, guys, let me just put some things into perspective, that the dollar index is not actually the strength of the dollar, okay? It's the strength of the dollar weighted against other currencies. So that when you're looking at the US dollar index, it's only in relationship to other currencies, not just like itself, if that makes sense, okay? So the US dollar can be perceived as doing well, but the US market, the US dollar overall is not very confident right now. So that leaves me biased to, there's a good argument to downside and upside on Euro USD. You want my opinion? I'm still sticking with my bias that I think Euro USD is still going to break out to the upside, and that the US dollar is going to be weaker than the euro will be. That's what I believe, okay? But you'll also notice that I have it unchecked now. I don't, just because it continues to stay in this consolidation, I'm not getting tunnel vision on this pair, okay? I've kind of pushed it to the side a little bit. As we get, I've thought we've been getting confirmation multiple times. I think everybody has. Everybody's been thinking Euro USD is going to it starts to pick up some momentum to the upside, so it looks like it's going to break up, then starts to pick up some momentum to the downside, so then we're back to a neutral standpoint. Last week picked up a little bit of momentum to the upside. Looks like it could be going up again. And we can see this week, or well, I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago and then last week just dragged back down. So just uncertainty on Euro USD. So that's the main reason I've kind of kicked it to the sideline. But I still do have a bias and I'm still watching it very closely, which means that with the US dollar, although it is still considered non-trending, so it's hard for anybody to say that it's going to spike up and break out and go up to the hundreds, or it's going to break down and go to 93. If history repeats itself, and that's what I'm basing my bias off of, this, if history repeats itself, the US dollar is going to fall down and the Euro USD will spike up. And I am going to put my money on history, okay? Rather than just a shot in the dark. I would rather put my money on the cycle that tends to happen, okay? Also gold, you'll see I have gold unchecked. I mean, I've been bullish on it this entire year. If you were to go back, if you're maybe new around here, and if you were to go back and listen to any of my weekly outlook recordings from any time this year, any time I've talked about gold, it has all been to the upside. Back in January, February, when we were sub 12, or not, we weren't sub 1200, we were just a little bit above 1200. I said that we would go to 1500, 1600 and break our multi-year highs, which at the time was 1375, and we've done so. We're up in the 1500s. Now, as far as gold moving, I don't know what's going to happen with gold. That's why I don't have it marked off. Okay, so let's get into the pairs that I do have an idea of what's going to happen with. First and foremost is USD Swiss franc. So just a little bit of a background. Anybody that has been watching these weekly outlooks since June of this year, since we broke this series of higher lows that we were making, and which is marked off by this trend line right here, that's when I went short, or have had a short bias on USD Swiss franc. You know, it's kind of struggled the past couple months to inch its way lower. It's been, 1 week up, 1 week down, next week up, next week down, but it is getting lower. And to just put it into like more recent perspective, if you were specifically on last week's outlook, I drew or had this green box drawn, and I said I would short or be looking for shorts once price got into this area. So we can actually see that it wasn't until the end of last week, literally the tail end of Friday, that we got up into this area. So that means that this week I am very interested in seeing what happens in this area. And I'm telling you guys right now, you come back a couple weeks from now and USD Swiss sorry, USD Swiss franc is going to be at new lows. Okay. So that's USD Swiss franc. AUDUSD, students, you guys will know we took a stab at a buy last week. We took a buy on AUDUSD, somewhere back in here. Rode the buy for a while. Zero drawdown, went up like 50 pips of profit. We rode this rally last week. Set our stop losses to break even. Ended up getting stopped out at break even, so risk-free trade, and we can see all of last week. This is the daily chart of AUDUSD. It just consolidated at these lows, okay? Now, just to give you guys a little tip, I really don't recommend looking at this and saying that this is a bear flag, because while it can be described as a bear flag, if you're reading price action and understanding where we are in relationship to order flow of supply and demand, this is definitely, I wouldn't consider this a bear flag, especially with this wick from the day of August 7th. And I would be expecting some upside this week on AUDUSD. So I might actually be looking for those of you guys that are in the new active trading community and us doing our scalping sessions daily, probably we'll look at scalping AUDUSD upside probably throughout like a London and New York session, or just whenever I see, like a couple minute, or anywhere from 5, 10, 15, 20 minute, 30 minute period where I think we'll see upside on AUDUSD. So this is probably something we'll capitalize on a scalping session this week. And finally, USDCAD. If you've made it this far, then you're probably getting the biggest piece of value, just because this is a trade that I'm actually in right now. So just to add a little bit of transparency too, I know a lot of people won't show show you things. They won't like, it's so hard for a guru or somebody on social media just to show you what I'm showing you right here. And I think I'm looking at it on my phone too, like the screen recording. You guys can't see it because it's cut off, but let me bring this down a little bit so you guys can all see that this is a live account. Okay, a live account. You guys can see, watch, this will move in a second over here. Okay, so I don't know anybody, like, ask yourself the last time you learned from somebody that is showing you a MetaTrader 4 account, a live MetaTrader 4 account with over 6 figures in it, in real skin in the game. Okay, I see a lot of people post screenshots, a lot of people post this and that, but I don't see anybody showing a live 6-figure account in person with live trades. No one does it. No one, literally not a single person. Okay, I don't see a single person on social media that does this. So just add a layer of transparency. But this is, we're gonna go back to TradingView and you guys can see all the coordinates, but this is a swing trade that I'm currently in. I got my stop loss up here. I've got my take profit down here. You guys can see the coordinates right here. Stop loss 133.70, take profit 129. You can see where I entered at. So currently I'm like 40 pips in profit. I'm floating at about 1.3K in profit. If it hits my take profit, I'm going to end up making $14,934 US dollars. If it hits my stop loss, I'll lose 2,400. But for an account that is about 120,000 US dollars, this means that I'm risking 2% to make a little bit over 12% in my account. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how I trade. Okay, this is, you know, obviously not how I trade, but this is an example of how I trade. Okay, so just to show you guys that I'm not just a freaking guru in here just putting something on the chart, and you guys, because anybody can go and make a TradingView account and put a short and say they're short on USDCAD, but nobody's going to show you a real live 6-figure account, real skin in the game, real positions, real account. Nobody is. Okay, so this is my trade. So if you guys want to join me in on this, you have the coordinates. This, I guess, what you could consider like the free trade for the week. I don't recommend entering now because it's past the entry, but this is merely, you know, I mean, obviously, so you guys can see what my analysis. So if you guys are looking to short USDCAD, hopefully that adds some conviction to your trades, but also more so just transparency. So you guys can see that I do trade. I do have real skin in the game. I'm not just calling trades out of my ass and saying I'm in the trade. We have a real skin in the game here, and this is what you guys will be a part of if you're a part of the active trading community. So, you know, I challenge you guys. I don't know anywhere else that you can go for $37 a month and get this type of value. I mean, if you like what you see on these free weekly outlooks that I do once a week, imagine getting this kind of value every single day, 6 days a week, or 5 or 6 days a week, every single week, having direct access to me to ask me questions, bounce ideas off of myself, mentoring you on a daily webinar every single day that the markets are open. I don't know anybody else doing that. So if you guys are interested in joining my active trading community, send me a message. Make sure you're in the Telegram because currently I'm building out the website and it's not quite finished, but it'll be up later this week with more details and all that good stuff. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in there. I hope you guys get some value out of today's webinar. I hope you guys are able to make some money this week on either on something that I showed you. And if you got any value out of today's webinar, please just like this video. That's all I ask, guys. Just please like the video and keep coming back each week for more. So I appreciate you guys. Other than that, students, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and everybody else, I'll see you on next week's Weekly Outlook. So stay safe trading out there, guys. Have a great week, and take care, everybody. See ya.